social proof isn't one of those things that it's kind of sexy, right? The other stuff like flash game and things like that, that's, you know, you come to these seminars, that's what guys want to hear. The reason I think social proof is so important, because it will change you from a guy that can fuck lots of women to being a guy that lots of women want to fuck, okay? Let's go into my first slide. I'm going to go through what we're going to cover first. So I'm going to give you a bit of a definition. I've broken down social proof into 2 types, and I'll give you a good comprehensive guide to those, and then I'll give you some ways you can do that. And then what I think is super important for any of these talks that we do today, I want to give you stuff that you can literally go and do tonight, and I would really recommend you try it. So, I define social proof as, given limited time and motivation, people evaluate someone based on how those surrounding them behave towards that person. That sounds like a very long, grammatically incorrect sentence, but what it means is people make what we call thin slicing judgments, right? Rapid cognition. Has anyone heard of this? Yeah? For those of you who haven't, there we go. Thin slicing was coined by the guy Malcolm Gladwell in a book called Blink. If you haven't read this, I'd really recommend reading it. It's superb. What rapid cognition is, it's probably an evolutionary system where you have to judge whether something's a threat or not. Okay, so what it does is your brain stores stuff in a vault in the subconscious. And when you need to make a decision, it accesses that information, compares it against what you're seeing, and then makes a decision, okay? So what you need to do, and the massive thing in social proof, is controlling your perceptions, okay? We say perception is reality in love systems, right? Whatever people perceive to be real is what they will believe to be real, yeah? So, controlling your perceptions. So I'm going to go through a couple of examples of this, and I'm going to get you guys talking and interacting, right? So if you go past a nightclub and there's a huge line out front with loads of hot girls and people waiting to get in, what would be your perception of that nightclub? It's a hot place, right? So, but why? What is in your subconscious that would cause you to think that? Yeah, right? The only thing, people will only queue for something that is worth waiting for. And especially really hot girls, right? Because they can get in anywhere they like. So if they're making the hot girls queue up to get in, that place must be really hot. My brother was just in New York, and he said we hooked him up with a table at One Oak, right? And One Oak's one of the hardest places to get in, and there are girls around the block. Alex is nodding his head at the back there. Right, there are girls around the block to get in that place, and everyone wants to go there. Right? I haven't been. It may not be a cool bar. But it probably is pretty, it doesn't matter really, does it? If all these people are lining up to get in. So if you see a guy surrounded by loads of hot girls, what would be your thin slice of that guy? He's a bit of a pimp, right? Yeah, because what kind of guy is surrounded by hot girls in your experience? Love systems guys, us, right? For people that don't know about love systems, maybe say you're on a TV show in America, and like we're English guys, and we come over and we just see some guy, and I've never seen the TV show, but there's loads of girls around him. I would summarize, maybe he's like a famous actor or musician or something like that, because girls are always attracted to value, right? So my thin slice of that guy was he must be someone with good social value because these girls are around him. So what's your perception of a guy that gets blown out constantly? If you see a guy walking around a bar and it's like boom, boom, what do we think? He's got balls, but what else? He's got fuck all else, right? Because he's getting blown out. And the problem is girls' perceptions of that guy is going to be, these are women. If a guy surrounded by women is attractive, a guy who's being rejected by women will be the polar opposite of that. And they will say to themselves, if that guy comes out to me, I'm going to have to blow him out too, because all these other girls are doing it. There must be something wrong with him, right? A quick thing on that. If you do get blown out, if I get blown out, this is how I deal with it. I go up to go, hey, I saw you from across the bar and I thought you were this, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, oh, get lost. My boyfriend's here and he's bigger and taller than you and you're an ugly little shitty English guy and you've got crap teeth and it's always grey and raining and all right, easy love. But no one else is going to hear that, okay? So for this guy across the room, he sees me talking to her, but he doesn't hear what I'm saying. So I will always do this. This girl could unload a barrage of offense. And you know what I do? You know what? You're awesome. Have a good night. And as I'm walking off, call me. Nice. Right? But what you guys see is this. Right? What other girls see is that. They don't know what the fuck just happened, right? What you don't want to do is this. So the barrage of abuse, and you go, right? So make it up, right?